for today's video. As you could tell from the title, we're going to be doing a full face using only Jeffree Star Cosmetics products. I'm a huge fan of Jeffree Star in general, and I really love his cosmetics line and his products. I feel like they keep getting better and better. He really built his brand on liquid lipsticks and has just grown so substantially over the last few years, expanding into things like eyeshadow, highlighters, and I know there's a lot more that's gonna be coming this year. So I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Jeffree Star Cosmetics. But as a huge fan, I've gotten a lot of different products over the last couple of years and a variety of different things that will help to complete this full face makeup look. Now there's a couple of products that his cosmetic line just doesn't have right now. So we're talking about like primers, foundations, mascara, eyebrow product. But I think outside of that, all products will be Jeffree Star Cosmetics. So stay tuned if you want to see me go from this to fabulous. I'm gonna go in with my No Pore Blem by Touch in Sol primer. Jeffree Star does not have a primer currently in his collection, so I'm just gonna work this into my skin, focusing on my T-zone, my area of my nose that I have more profound pores. And this is such a great product to just ensure that you have a very even canvas for your makeup application. Okay, now that the skin is prepped and primed, I'm gonna go in with a new foundation that I've not yet tried. This is by Juvia's Place, and it is the I Am Magic Velvet Matte Foundation. I picked this up from Ulta a couple of months ago, honestly, and I just never got around to trying it out. And now that we've been in quarantine, I'm just really not wearing makeup often. So when I knew I was gonna do this video, I thought, well, let's give this a try. Okay, first impression is that this is incredibly full coverage, like super full coverage, and also really yellow for my skin tone. But I'm hoping that it'll oxidize once it sits on here. And I just am always red in the cheek area. I've been like that my whole life, ever since I was a child. So oftentimes when I first apply a foundation, it may look like, whoa, that's not the right shade, that's not the right color. But then when I blend everything together, it does blend it with my neckline. So let's see how this goes. Next up, I'm going to go in with my Peach Star Concealer here from Jeffree Star. This is a peach undertone to help to conceal any dark circles. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of this in some of my darker under eye areas and blend this outward. Then I'm going to go in with my Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer in the shade C7. And I really, really like this concealer. I think it works really well with any other foundation or product that I've tried with it. It does not cake up or build up or really settle into my fine lines under my eyes as much as other concealers. And I do notice like a really great wearability throughout the day with this as well. So I'm just going to blend this in. So next up, we're going to take our Jeffree Star setting powder, and I am using the shade Fair. I really like this setting powder. First of all, it smells like cotton candy. Leave it to Jeffree to make his powders smell like candy. Oh, it's so good. It's like burnt, like kind of like a toasted marshmallow meets cotton candy blend, if that makes sense. It just smells so good. And I'm going to take just a little bit of it and dump it into my pan. And I'm not a huge baker by choice because My under eye area tends to run really dry. I have oily combination skin. I get oily like in my nose and my bottom of my chin, but basically the rest of my face is very dry. And so if I add a ton of powder to that area, it tends to look crepey and flaky and overly dry. So I'm not going to concentrate much powder under my eye area. I'm instead going to just buff this in to set everything in place. So next up, we're going to bronze, and I'm going to get a little creative here because Jeffree Star does not have a bronzer currently in his makeup line, but in the Conspiracy palette, there is this awesome shade. There's a couple here actually. This one called Tanacon, and then this one called Diet Root Beer, I have used to do some contouring on my face. And so we're going to give that a try today and truly use as much Jeffree Star product as we can. So I'm going to take my angled contour brush, and I'm going to start by dipping into this shade, Tanacon. You can see how it's giving me just like a nice outline here. This is more of a cool toned, neutral bronze. So anyone who's fair skinned like me, this is going to work really well. If you have a deeper skin tone, you will probably want to pass up this shade to start with and go right in with Diet Root Beer. Okay, so I've kind of started to frame out my contour here a little bit more. I'm going to get a little bit more chiseled, and I'm going to take a flat brush like this. This one is from e.l.f. Super affordable. If I can find this online, I'll link it for you guys. It's a great brush. I think it was like under $5. And then I'm going to take the Diet Root Beer shade, and I'm going to be very light-handed with this, and I'm going to just focus this right on from where my hairline and my ear come down about an inch. So since Jeffree Star doesn't have any blushes currently in his line, and the eyeshadow shades that I have are a little too bold and vibrant for more of a subtle blush look that I'm looking for, I'm going to actually use my Flower Beauty Ride or Die blush in the color Warm Hibiscus. I've talked about this before on my channel. I am obsessed with this blush. It is so universally flattering, and it's got the slightest bit of like a gold sheen to it. So it gives your cheeks just like the most perfect rosy complexion with a little added like shimmer highlight almost effect. I'm obsessed. I look 10 years younger instantly, right? Look like I'm 20 years old. Wouldn't you agree? Just say yes. So for this eye look, I'm going to start out by using the Alien palette here. This is no longer available, so I won't be able to link it down below, but it's a great palette that I got in one of his mystery boxes. And I'm going to go in with this shade here. It is called Titan, and I'm going to place this all over the lid just to really set a nice canvas and base for the eye look that we're going to create. All right, so now that I have that shadow base laid down, I'm going to go in with the same palette, and I'm going to start mixing Gravity with this stunning like mauve shade called Phone Home, and I'm going to start to build up the contour of my crease. Now I'm going to take the shade Diet Root Beer from the Conspiracy palette. This is the same shade that I used to help contour my face, and I'm going to warm up this crease a little bit more. Now I want to start to build the shade under my eye as well for like an eyeliner. I like to do more of a smoked out look. So I'm going to take Gravity mixed with Martian Soul from the Alien palette and build this into my under eye. Now I'm going to go in with the Conspiracy palette again, and I'm going to use this shade here called Just a Theory. And this is kind of like a champagne dusty rose shimmer shade. I'm going to pack this on the lid. Okay, now here's where things are going to get a little bit risky, but we'll give it a try. I'm going to go back in with the Alien palette, and I'm going to use the shade Probe, which is a really unique, like shade shifting dark teal color right here. And I want to build this into the outer corner of my eye. And to help kind of blend all of this together, I'm going to go back in with Diet Root Beer from the Conspiracy palette and just try to blend out the edges between the blue shade and the neutral crease shade. I'm now going to go back in with Just a Theory from the Conspiracy palette. This was the shade that we packed all over the eye, and because that shade was so dark that I did to deepen my crease, I'm going to go back in and just kind of dust this on like the first quarter of my eyelid to have a little bit more of a transition. You can see that I brought the darker shade inward because I wanted it to not be so stark, like pink to teal. So we're going to go back in and make this a little bit more vibrant again. Sorry you guys, my battery died, so I had to kind of re-change my battery. So I'm going to actually just take the Phone Home shade here, and what I did is I put it under my eye. I'm going to darken it up just a little bit more to help this all come together. For an inner corner highlight here, I'm going to take the shade Ranch from the Conspiracy palette and put this in my inner corner. This is a blinding like white color. Now for my face highlight, I'm going to go in with the Brain Freeze palette, and I'm going to use the shade Gold Breaker here, which is just a nice like champagne gold shade, and I'm going to dust this on the highlights of my cheeks here. This is such a blinding highlight, y'all. Like, woo! See me coming. I'm also going to put some on the top of my nose and the Cupid's bow. I'm going to go do my brows and my lashes offline just with mascara. They're not Jeffree Star Cosmetic products, and I'll be right back to finish with lips. Okay, I've got my brows, my mascara on. I also just applied the Jeffree Star Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Allegedly on the outline of my lip. And I'm going to take my all-time favorite nude liquid lipstick in the shade Celebrity Skin here by Jeffree Star, and I'm going to blend these two colors together. This is the final look. I think it turned out really nice. I'm going to get up close and personal so that you can see all of the details here with the highlighter and the eye color. Ultimately, I think everything turned out really nice. Very happy with this look. I'm gonna call this like peacock vibe eye look. I don't know, it's got, you know, the teals and the warm neutrals. So really happy with it. If there's any products that I can find available online, I will link them down below if you want to check them out. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.